So let's say we have this right here. Let's say we have square root of 8 times square root of 32. And they said to multiply. Okay? So we need to multiply these two things. How will we do this? Hey guys, this is Masters, and I'm glad you guys are back on this channel. Take a moment to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you can always be alert when I post a new video. So without further delay, let's get into it. Now, what can we do? Well, I know for the to make it easy, I know you could just do you could just do this, right? 8 times 32, and then you multiply them. But this actually, guys, is the wrong approach. Don't do that ever. Whenever you're working with radicals or rational exponent expressions, don't try to do things like this. Try to always simplify it. As you guys saw in the previous video, we were simplifying those expressions. So we're gonna do the same thing on this one, and you're gonna see why it is much better to do this than just to multiply them together. So let's first simplify this. Square root of 8. So remember, we talked about the square root. So that means this is basically like 2 and 8, right? Square root basically is 2 and 8. Right? 2 is outside and then 8 is on the inside. If you say cube root of 8, then it will be 3 and then 8. So don't forget that. Anything when you say whenever you see the word root with radical, that number goes outside. So square root, the 2 goes outside. Cube root, the 3 goes outside. Fourth root, the 4 go outside. The fifth root, also the same thing. Just so you guys have the idea. Now, what can we do? Because this is square root, that means you want that number on the inside, right? You want that number on the inside to be a perfect power of the number on the outside, which is basically 2, but we don't write it. So which number when you look at 8, which number that does 8 have that is a perfect power or perfect power of the number on the outside, which is 2? Well, we know that we can write 8 as, we can actually write 8 as what? Let me do that again. We can write 8 as 4 times 2. Why? Because this is a 2 outside, but we don't write it down. So which means now, what I'm going to do is, we can use the distributive formula. So I'm going to rewrite this as square root of 4 times square root of 2. Now, we know what square root of 4 is, right? It's 2. In this case, we're gonna assume everything is positive. Okay, that's what I'm saying right now. In this case, we're gonna assume everything is positive. So basically, square root of 8 is basically is basically equal to the square root of 4 times square root of 2, which is that is going to be equal to 2 times square root of 2. So that would be the square root of 8 right here. How about 32? The square root of 32. Well, what does 32 have a number that is a perfect power of 2, or meaning perfect square of 2? Well, let's see. If we go as 32, what can we do? Remember, we can always go this route, right? 32, we say 2, that's 16. We say 2, that's 8. We say 2, that's 4. And 2, 2, and 2 is 1. So we have what? We have 2, 4, 5 2's in 32. So that means we can say this is equal to 4 and 4 and 2. So you can say 4 times 2 is equal to the square root of 32. Now, we can always go and say 4 and 4 and square root of 2, which is equal to what? That's equal to 2. That's equal to 2 and square root of 2. 2 times 2 is 4 square root of 2. Or I could have just said this would be the square root of 32 is basically equal to the square root of 16 times 2. And therefore we would have square root of 16 times square root of 2. And square root of 16 is equal to what? It's equal to 4 square root of 2. So now we know we have 2 square root of 2 times 4 square root of 2. Okay? So what is that? What is 2 times 4? It's equal to 8. And 2 square root of 2 times square root of 2 is equal to 2. So we have the answer equal to 16. But you see, I gave you guys the longer route to do that. But me, I would have just known, okay, this is square root of 8, so it will be 2 square root of 2 times 4 square root of 2. And that's equal to 8 times 2, which is equal to 16. I could have done that pretty easily. But I wanted to show you guys how to go from here to that. So that's why I made it that long. But for the next ones, I'm gonna go a little bit faster because now you understand how it works. So now I'm gonna not give that many explanation, but I'm gonna just go as I'm going along for you guys to be looking. Now, so let's look at a second example. Well, very quickly. Let's say we have the cube root of 6 times the cube root of 36. Now, guys, I want you guys to think about it. Here's the first question. Is there any number you can multiply by itself 3 times to get 6? The answer is no, right? Is there any number you can multiply by itself 3 times to get 36? The answer is no. But guys, in this case, the easiest thing we would do is to just multiply them together, right? It would be, we would do like a cube root. Oh man, I can't write my 3 properly. You probably would want to do something like this, right? Cube root of 6 times 36. But I want to give you guys a different approach. I want you guys to think about it. Okay? Think about that part right here. So, if you were to write cube root of 6 in a different manner, how would you write it? It would be, right? It would be 6 to the power of 1 over 3. Right? Yes. Why do I say that? It is because remember that radicals are basically an expression of exponent. So if you have square root of 8, it's basically 8 to the power of 1 over 2. Because there's a 1 right here and there's a 2. Whichever is in the outside is in the denominator. So basically 6 cube root of 6 is basically the same thing as 6 to the power of 1/3. Okay? Knowing this, what would the cube root of 36 be? Well, that would be the cube root of what? What is 36? 36 is 6 squared. Right? Yes. Which means that would be 6 to the power of 1/3 times 6 to the power of 2/3. Right? Because the inside is on the numerator and the outside on the denominator. Well then, because they have the same base, we can just add the exponent. Guys, remember, radicals are basically exponential fractions, right? They are exponential fractions. So 6 power of 1/3 times 6 power of 2/3 is basically equal to 6 to the power of 1/3 plus 2/3. And what is 1/3 plus 2/3 is equal to 6 power of 3/3. And what is 3 over 3? Is equal to 1. So basically, the cube root of 6 times the cube root of 36 is equal to 6. Now, let me show you a different method of doing that. I'm going to show you that was actually I would say the easiest method right here. Let me show you the other method, which is just to do cube root of 6 times cube root of 36. And we say cube root of 6 times 36. That would be the cube root of 216. Okay? Now, how will we find out that the cube root of 216 is equal to 6? Well, what we're going to do, what we call the least common multiple. So we have 216, and we say, okay, first thing first, we're going to divide by 2. So 2 will give you what? That's going to be 1. That's going to be what? 0. And now you put the 6 down, you get 8. You're basically doing a division in that form. So you get 108 now. Now, can we still simplify 108? Yes. Let's take another 2 again. Now we have 10, that's 5. And we have 8, that's 4. Is that can be still simplified? Yes. Another 2. We have 2, that's 2. Now we have 5, that's 2. And 14, we have 7, that's 27. Now, can we still go with 2? No. But can we go with 3? Yes. So let's go with 3. 3, that will be 9. 3, that will be 3. And 3, that will be 1. Now what? We have 3 sets of 2 and 3 sets of 3. So these 2 and this 3 equals to what? Equals to 6. These 2 and this 3 equals to what? It equals to 6, right? 2 times 3 is 6. And these 2 and these 3 equals to 6 as well. So what is 6 times 6 times 6? Is 216. So therefore, the cube root of 216, oh, my bad, that's really wrong. And guys, this is not 666, okay? Let's not talk about that. This is not 666. This means we are multiplying 6 3 times, okay? That's not 666. No. But the cube root of 216 is 6. So those are the 2 ways to find the cube root of 216. I gave you the first one, which is the easiest one to think about, and the other one, I mean, like, now, unless you know your math pretty well, like I do, you already know that this is going to be equal to 6. But if you don't know, I wanted to show you guys the steps to get to that number. So basically, that's how you get the cube root of 216 equals to 6. Now, guys, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, right? Give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well. That would help me out a lot. And if you want to donate to the channel, you can do so. I have all my Cash App, PayPal, and Zelle in the description down below. This is Masters. Hope to see you guys again. Until then, Masters out.